Welcome. This is the Unbiased podcast where we uncover some of the biggest stories in the world of sports entertainment. All right. And we're going to start off with a new segment called How You Really Feel. The Chicago Cubs have signed Trey Mancini over the weekend, and they have been busy signing Cody Bellinger and Dansby Swanson. So, Cam, let's start with you and tell me how you really feel about Chicago Cubs moves so far.
Cubs are making moves. They've got a pretty solid lineup right now. So Trey Mancini, I think it's a pretty solid pickup. 2 years. Let's see what he's doing. He's 30. He still coming off a very solid year. Obviously. When he was with the Orioles, though, when he got to Houston, I mean, he kind of declined a little bit. But I mean, you could say it might be of age. Maybe that's why he only got a 2-year deal. But my personal opinion, I think, is a pretty good pickup. Next, we got Cody Bellinger. So obviously, man, you don't really have to throw up any stats. If you don't know baseball, you should still at least have heard Cody Bellinger before. Honestly, I mean he's kind of a stud. He's great in Los Angeles. Obviously being a Braves fan, I hated playing against him. He's a solid pickup. No matter what way you look at it. And last person I'm going to get into right now is Dansby. So Dansby, as a Georgia guy, as a Braves guy, really hurt to see the guy go. But I kind of think that everyone kind of saw it coming when, we started throwing contracts out left and right, and Dansby wasn't one of them. I think everybody kind of got the hint, Not saying that he didn't get a good offer, but I think that Dansby wanted more than what the Braves were offering. As far as maybe not necessarily money wise, but maybe a year wise too, because he knew this is his last really big contract that he can make the most money off of. So I think that's why he went to the Cubs. So smart pickup by the Cubs. I think that he's going to do great there. As far as everybody else, it took me a long time to figure out Cody Bellinger because I'm looking at my notes and I'm just looking at this squad, man. You're bringing back Eric Hosmer. This guy's a 4 Gold Glove, Silver Slugger award winner. So bringing him back on less than $1 million. Great veteran to have. Ian Happ just got his contract, getting paid $10.8 million next year. Solid pickup. Well, I don't want to say pickup. The kid's been there. He went there and they drafted him in 2015. He's been with the organization still. So I think maybe they're giving him a year, just seeing, hey, maybe something will work out long term. You have him and Dansby right there. Two long term contracts back to back like that. Also, Seiya Suzuki, monster rookie years. Right. If he's going to come out and do 70% of what he did, this year, if he does that every year, you got to give this guy a contract. He had an insane rookie year. And then you look at some of the pitching. Drew Smyly just re-signed. And then you're bringing back Kyle Hendricks, Marcus Stroman, Jameson Taylor. So I think the Cubs are going to be a pretty good squad. They might run the NL Central, but you never know. You got the Cardinals up there, man. That's hard to get by the Cardinals, man. It kind of seems like they just always run that division. So we'll see, man. But good luck to the Cubs, man. I'm a fan. They got a lot of history, man. I love teams that have a lot of history. So I'm a Cubs fan. So that'd be pretty cool to see them do good things. But obviously, always go Braves. We're taking the World Series. So.
And now we're going to go on to the association. Well, the Brooklyn Nets are currently sitting at second in the Eastern Conference. And Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons are going to have to step up while Kevin Durant is nursing an MCL injury in his knee. Ty, Tell me, how do you really feel about the Nets in the absence of Kevin Durant?
I think they're gonna be all right, man. I mean, we had this same issue last year. I mean, 2020, 2021 season, we were 25-12 without KD. I think, you know, just he's gonna be gone for a month. Okay, that's good. That's okay. If he's gonna be gone longer, all right, maybe we can have concerns. But other than that, we should be fine. I mean, 21 and 22, we was 8-19, but I mean, come on. They'll be all right from there. I mean, Kyrie's still being Kyrie, you know, being the phenomenal man that he can be on the court. Ben Simmons. I mean, it's really unexcusable at this point. I mean, let's be honest. I think the most points he's had this season is what, like 10.
No, he had a 22-point outing.
Yeah,
He's
20.
done.
He had
Yeah,
22.
yeah,
Oh
he had a
wow.
22-point outing.
How many games was that?
Oh wow.
Not
Yeah,
enough. He's not
I'm
contributing
not saying
enough.
plural. I'm not saying plural, just one. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different. Like if he averaged like 7, 8 blocks a game, but for the majority, it's like one. Like he's like 0.5 in average this season on blocks. I
Oh
mean,
man.
steals is like 1.5. I mean, come on. Where are you going to contribute on the court? Is it going to be defense? Is it going to be offense? I need a little mix because of the caliber player that we expect you to be. We expect you to be great. I mean, they were goodness when he got in the league. What were they talking about? Oh, he's LeBron.
Yeah, yeah,
I need to
yeah.
see it.
And I heard a recent comparison, real quick, to Draymond Green. You think that's fair for Ben Simmons?
Absolutely not. At this point, look, and you know me. I am not a Draymond fan. I mean, hey, he was averaging like 2 points at some point in time. So, but you got to contribute. But he contributes on the defensive side. And like I said, if we're gonna compare you to Draymond, you got to have more blocks. You got to have more steals. You got to get dirty on the court. You can't just be sitting around. Hey, excuse me, can I get in here and get a rebound? It's grown man ball, man. You got a ball. Can't be no little boy. You get in there.
All right. All right, and we'll see how the Nets fare, and we're gonna keep it right here in the association. We got an insane play from a potential, well, it's definitely a legitimate MVP candidate. We're gonna dunk and get you guys' reaction. Let's bring up that dunk real quick, go. And he disrespects
Dude.
Jalen Smith. Oh my god.
That's just job being job.
He makes a post. He makes a post and it says, and I quote, "Don't jump with me unless you want to go viral."
I'm trying to tell you. That's job being
Hey,
job.
I mean, he's backing it up, man. I mean, he can kind of say what he wants. He's done it multiple times. It's not the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know,
that's the best part about all of that. Like, it's not the first time, and it's definitely not going to be the last. He's showing all of his 47-inch vertical posts, and like
mm-hmm.
for he's no taller than what, 6'2"? For him to have his head above the rim on dude, oh my god, it's where can John Morant realistically finish individually? We're not talking about. We'll get to the teams later, but individually, like where will John Morant end up in the list of the greats?
It's hard to say, man. And I think definitely we're going to consider him as great. But if Memphis can't get over that hump, what are we going to say then? Are we going to say, okay, he was great, but the team was,
You
can't give
froze.
you a definite answer. but I definitely think he's going to be one of the greatest players.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you look at the guy now, and he's putting up, almost 28 points a game, and let's see, almost 8 assists per game, 1 steal, almost 6 rebounds per game. So, I mean, he's playing like that right now, and if he keeps playing like that, he probably could be in that conversation. But I mean, yeah, we kind of need to see Memphis win. They gotta make a playoff push. They gotta win some championships. Not saying that that's only on Ja. I mean, he's a great player. He's dynamic, dude. I mean, he jumps through the roof. I mean, he's so much fun to watch, man. I love Ja Morant, bro. I mean, he's one of my favorite current NBA players right now. Um, but I mean, he's got a good supporting cast too, especially with Steven Adams. Steven Adams has been around for a while, so that's a really good duo there. So I don't know, man. I think he could potentially be up there with the greats if he keeps dunking like he does. Who knows, man? He might have the next like a next Jordan pose, but it's gonna be the jaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he just put out his first shoe with Nike. It's I didn't ask for any pictures or anything because if we're being honest, them things ugly. They are atrocious. Them things are hideous. That's why I ain't asked. We're not gonna bring them up. But I think Ja, if he can, because he's in that 8 assists range, that's career high right now. But if he can stay in that range and get to that 9-10 range and solidify what a true point guard does while he doing the things that he's doing, because this guy is baby Westbrook with D Rose before the metal in his knee and
Yeah,
a little bit of
Yeah,
Vince Carter all put in the one magical
yeah,
baby rockabye. So it's
no,
tough. Oh my God. So you definitely right. We definitely got to see that man win, and we got to see
yeah.
Memphis win. But I don't know. I think they're still a little ahead of their time, but we're gonna keep it there. And as we hit the midway point of the NBA season, Boston's the number one team in the East, while Denver and Memphis are tied up top in the Western Conference. The defending champion Warriors, they just can't get it right on the road, and they're eighth in the West. So, which team? We're gonna start with Cam. Which team has surprised or disappointed you so far?
Um, I'd probably say the Pelicans. Um, I know that they're third in the West right now. You got Zion, obviously Zion doing Zion things. Um, I mean, after the injury, man, we're still kind of seeing what he can do. Obviously, I mean, he hasn't played a full season yet, so we're trying to see how long that lasts. And also, I mean, but with a squad like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, dude, I mean, you got guys that can play. With a record of 26-18, and especially when you start the season how you did, um, your first, I think it was like 10 or 11 games, you only lost 3 games. To start that hot and to be sitting at 26-18 right now, you kind of expect a little bit more, from the third overall team in the West, 4.5 games back. Uh, but when you beat the Nets by 20, and the Hornets by 12, you beat Luca. Your one loss is in overtime. You, you start out that hot, man. You would just expect a little bit better.
Yeah,
mm,
definitely.
man. I gotta say Miami, man.
Mm.
Like after that bubble display, I got high expectations for this team. Like super high expectations. And for y'all to be seven right now, behind the Knicks, behind the Cavs, behind the 76ers, it's disappointing to me. It really is. I mean, like when we look at their games, like we go back to them playing Atlanta. I mean, which is a great team, but like Oladipo 7 points. You know what I mean? Like Tyler Hero 15 points. Y'all looking real pedestrian out there. Like if we're gonna win games, we can't just have Jimmy putting up 34 points. Everybody has to contribute, and that's majority of their games. Everybody lack of contributing, like contribution. Like I just need everybody on the team at one point in time to score points. Kyle Lowry, how you come in? Y'all play the Nuggets. You got 3 points. You can't win with bro. Like I can give you 3 points. Like, pick me up. Pick me up. I can win. I can give you 3 points right now. And one bucket. One bucket, 3 points, and then put me on the bench and pay me, and I'm ready to go. But like, it's disappointing, man. Number 7, like, come on, guys. That's supposed to be this great team. All this talent on this team too. Bam Adebayo, Jim Butler, Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, and a lot of these young guys too. Like I'm not understanding. I'm just not understanding where we at.
You guys have both expressed your disappointment in how these teams are playing. So I'm gonna flip the script and show some appreciation to the way that the Sacramento Kings are playing right now. Sacramento Kings, the last time that these guys were in the playoffs, I think we were in, and I say we as a collective whole, this entire panel, we were in elementary school, right? Shaq was still in the league. Uh, the second Bush was president, and
Oh,
we were in the middle. We were at the beginning of the first recession before the 2008. So now we didn't survive the pandemic, 2012, and a host of other things, and Sacramento still hasn't got there. These guys are currently sitting fourth in the West. One of the best defensive teams. They're in the top 10 defensive efficiency, and you got a guy like De'Aaron Fox who should be a first-time All-Star, and a guy like Domantas Sabonis who's playing like an All-Star. Domantas Sabonis is right here with 19 points per game, 13 rebounds, about 7 assists. Those are All-Star like numbers, and you got a guy like Keegan Murray who's providing great defense and doing just enough on the offensive side. He leads the team in blocks, and that's the rookie. Kevin Huerter was a great pickup, and these guys are playing like they really want to play. And they're not playing like a playing team. They're playing like a team in the playoffs that should and can get to the second round and do some noise in the West.
here's the thing. They number 4, and they balling. Now, don't get me wrong, but they gonna have to do a little more because it's too many teams over there in the West. The Warriors sitting at 7, and the Clippers sitting at 6 right now, and the Mavs sitting at 5. Hey, it's gonna get scary for you soon. So y'all gonna have to come out there and do something more.
You said a bunch of teams that you said the Warriors, and that was the only team that I'm worried about. Right here as it stands, and of course, the season doesn't end until April, but I think the Kings can beat Dallas in a 4-game series. It would in a 7-game series. My fault. It would take them all 7 games, but I think they could do it
I don't think so.
because
Yeah, bro. I just wouldn't bet against Luka at this point.
it's Luka and who else?
He don't need anybody else, bro.
Who else do you need?
It's Luka. Come on, man.
It's the Luka show.
It's the Luka show. He can't pass the ball to himself. If he could,
Bro,
they could win all the games.
Bro, it's Luka and the Mavs. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's exactly what it is.
If Luka gets shut down, if Luka's giving you 40, he's used all his energy. He's not playing any defense. So De'Aaron Fox can eat. De'Aaron Fox can go for 40 or 50. He's done it. So
Yeah, but think about it. Even in an off game where he gets shut down, Luka's still putting up 40 points.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I mean, he's still putting up crazy numbers, man. I mean, I don't know, bro. Playoffs and
Averaging.
7-game series with them, I don't know, man. I can't bet against Luka on that. I don't think the Kings can get that done.
I just can't. And for you to say that the Warriors the only team, man, I don't know about that, man.
The only team you should worry about right here, because the other teams you won't see those other teams. Denver, Memphis, New Orleans, you won't see them to the second round. These teams, Mavericks, Clippers. If I'm the Kings, I want the Clippers. I want the Clippers or the Jazz to get to the fifth spot. But I don't want the Warriors. I'm content with playing the Mavs. I will play the Clippers because I don't know who's going to show up on that team. I don't know who's going to be there, who's going to show up to work. The Utah Jazz, come on now. In Minnesota or Portland won't get there. I think Utah has a legitimate chance to maybe shake some things up. But no, the only team I'll be worried about getting into a first round battle with, if I'm the Kings, long as I'm not battling top three teams, is the Warriors. I don't want to have to face the Warriors first round.
I think everybody kind of thinks that.
Nobody
wants that.
If I got to roll like Luka or the Clippers, who I don't know who's going to show up for work that day, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Luka's up there though. To like, if I was on a team, I'd be like, I don't want to play this person. I mean, Luka's just up there. Like, I wouldn't want to see Luka until the finals, if they made it to the finals.
Yeah, but by that point, Luka's definitely exhausted. So that's cool with me. But that's fine with me. He'd probably be exhausted by the time he gets to the playoffs. All this time he has to play now in the regular season.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. There's money. I think, bro, Luka's one of those. He's one of those players, bro. If he makes it that far, I don't think that he's just gonna. I don't think he's gonna be stopped. If he makes it all the way, to the finals, I don't think he's gonna. He's not gonna get stopped. No.
The NBA finals, or the conference finals.
Oh, conference final. No, I'm just talking about the NBA finals. I'm saying that's what I was referring to. I'm saying if he were to make it all the way to the NBA finals, man, I don't know. I don't think you can stop Luka at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yes, because he didn't got to the finals. But
right.
As you can see, last year when he went and faced Golden State, and it's really not a good example because everybody loses to Golden State, but he was exhausted. He lost all his energy, and I love Luka, but Luka by himself, it's not going to work. Even Mike needed Scotty and Dennis.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, he got some support over there, you know.
It's something enough because the Celtics had some support. That's why they had to go get some other ones and try to make it happen.
Nah, see, the Celtics ain't had some support. They had some players. And then they had some non-players.
Oh, man.
We need more players.
He said definitely players.
The Celtics had so many players go through that organization, and they have not won. Like some years they were just stacked, and they should have won, and they just didn't. But the Celtics always do that, though. A lot of players go through that organization, man.
Yeah. I think that it's really Boston and everybody else in that conference. But the Western Conference is a lot to be desired because we know what Steph, Clay, and Draymond brings to the table. But I like Denver. I like Memphis. I like the Sacramento team. We're gonna wrap up the NBA Association. We're gonna get back to it as next week we'll comprise our own All-Star teams as the fan voting will come to a conclusion. But we'll move on to the NFL playoffs as we had a super wild card weekend, and it lived up to its hype when we're going to get ready for the best weekend in football, the divisional round. Let's start off with a couple highlights.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, we're picking off here at 10-0, where we got a good move. DJ Dallas here, right here. Um, I think the thing is here with this game, Seattle gave all they could, and then the everything else popped in like reality. Kenneth Walker, I really like what he brings to the table. That was a great pickup, and Seattle always finds that those running backs, those tough guys. So I really like the presence that Seattle has, as you see right here, the fake direct snap as Gino lined up under a guard right here. So I think that Seattle is really ahead of their time. Maybe they were a year ahead of their time because Geno Smith shot a bunch of players. So it's real nice to see football is better when Seattle's good because they're that team that's always been gritty, even before Pete Carroll. But how far do you think that Brock Purdy and the Niners can go, Tom?
I don't know, because that boy just looks like he's done this, he does this, he's been doing this, and he's gonna keep doing this. And if he keeps doing that, ain't no telling where they're gonna be. Defense like that, and then y'all added Christian McCaffrey to the team. It's just OP at this point, man. It's OP, man. It's not fair, man. I call it recount, mistrial, man.
Mistrial.
Man, I think that I don't know. A lot of people said when the C-Mac first got traded to the 49ers, some people were like, "Oh, that's Super Bowl, that's Super Bowl, that's Super Bowl." And then you had some people that's like, "He hasn't even played for him." The people that said he hasn't even played for him, it's C-Mac. I mean, let's just be real. We knew that the 49ers were going to be good. Did we think that Brock Purdy was going to be this good? I don't think anybody saw this good coming from him like he's playing right now. The 49ers are hot, bro. They are hot. Yeah. So, I mean, if he's going to throw for over 300 yards in a playoff game, and C-Mac's going to have over, 100 yards, close to 120 yards rushing, man, they can go far, real far. I mean, that's a Super Bowl caliber team right there, man. And you got Debo, and you got Brandon Ayuk, man. That's probably one of the best wide receiver twos in the NFL. Like he's got to be. So I think they can go deep, man. They could probably get to the Super Bowl.
And I like the point that you made there. I think that Ayuk is probably the second best secondary option behind Gabe Davis in Buffalo. He's probably the best number two that we have there. And Brandon Ayuk, he led the team in catches here, 78 catches, a little over 1,000 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And George Kittle, we didn't even bring him up. He is like the glue.
Right, yeah.
We know that a quarterback's best friend and security blanket, his insurance policy, is that tight end. And we've seen this season that there's only a handful. It's about Travis Kelce and then everybody else. So you can put Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and then everybody else. So I really like what San Francisco brings to the table. And like I said, there was Seattle should definitely have their heads high because they outplayed expectations, and Geno Smith definitely he showed his expression that he's willing to come back. Would you re-sign Geno Smith?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I saw something. Apparently, he said that he would love to be back because Seattle's the one that gave him a chance, this and that. So like he wants to be there, and I think in their position, I would go ahead and at least go ahead and re-sign him for a year or two because you have a quarterback that wants to be there, and obviously he played his ass off this year, so I would re-sign him for sure. Yeah,
I would definitely resign. I wouldn't give him that franchise tag though. I would give him 2-3 years.
yeah.
They're definitely doing them. Yeah, and I wouldn't give him. Of course, he's not getting Kyler Murray money. I don't think Kyler Murray deserves Kyler Murray money. But yeah, you give him some of that Baker Mayfield money, you'd be all right.
Yeah.
Can I just get like a little bit of it? Like,
Smith.
Only because I'm rooting for you, dog. You know what I mean? Like I'm here telling it.
All right, we're gonna move on to the one of the biggest comebacks, lead blows, whichever way you want to call it. The Jaguars and the Chargers Saturday night capper. This was crazy. We're here 30-20. We're gonna pick up right here in the fourth quarter, and Justin Herbert does Justin Herbert things as he finds Joshua Palmer. The thing with the Chargers, they have so much talent. Oh my goodness, so much talent, and on both sides of the ball. Offensive side, the offensive line, Austin Eckler is Mr. Touchdown. Then you got Keenan Allen. Of course, Mike Williams didn't play this week because he was hurt. We're going to get to that. And then you go and sign Khalil Mack and you got Joey Bosa. It just feels like the Chargers underachieved here this entire season. And for them to go out and be up 27-0 in this game. And you can see here in the fourth quarter, before we get into the nitty-gritty of these highlights, it's 30-20 now. The Chargers scored 3 points in the second half. How do you... What's the future of the Chargers coach, Brandon Staley?
This is the future. Does he have a future? And if he does, why? He got something.
Earlier today, before we got on the air, the Chargers did fire their quarterback coach and offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Which is,
I don't know if that was enough.
I don't think so.
Dude, not saying I know personally anything about this, blown leads or anything. But this reminded me of a game.
Yes, it did.
I saw at one point in my life. And we kind of see where that went. Look at where our coaching staff went. Everybody's gone. They came in, everybody's gone. That's what's going to happen. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, you're blowing a playoff game like that.
Yeah, 27-0, and it happened such in a blink of an eye. Like first series, pick, second series, pick, third series, another one. Fourth, right. And by the end of the first quarter, and Al Michaels had said Trevor Lawrence picked again. It was like, damn,
man. From the GM,
I was sitting here thinking about last week when I was like Trevor Lawrence, and I was just basically like holding this man's hand, you know what I'm saying, like on his shit, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's already thrown 2 picks in like 6 seconds. What the fuck? So
you can't do that.
I was like, what is going on?
It was so quick.
At the end of the game, I was like, Trevor knows how to win.
Fun fact, Trevor's never lost on Saturday. High school, college, now in the NFL. They just don't lose on Saturday.
That is the most random fact I've ever heard in my life.
It was random as hell when I read it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was so random. Yeah.
No. It ain't as random as this like 15-year long Blizzy guzzler. Like that ain't like that's the most random shit I ever heard. But that's for another day.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get to Joey Chestnut another day, another segment. But I think there's no way you can let this 27-0. This is the playoffs we're talking about. You're supposed to be the 14 best teams. 27-0, you can't do it. And the thing is, I never want after the first, well, after the second, no, after the third interception, I was like, well, this is it. I'm gonna get this one wrong. I just went to my notes and said, all right, I'm gonna get this one wrong. Trevor Lawrence, he's not ready. And then they just kept chipping away. The off-season accusation, Christian Kirk of Evan Ingram and picking up Doug Peterson as a coach, it's like day and night, because this is not the same Trevor Lawrence that showed up to Jacksonville last season. This is the Trevor Lawrence that was in Clemson.
Right.
Last year, that was Tyler Lawrence that was playing. It couldn't have been Trevor. You see this?
Hey, so Cole, did we go? If I remember correctly, did me and you go 5-5 on our picks?
Yes, my friend. We went 6-0 this week.
I'm sorry, I don't know why. I said I was 5 for 5 before last night's game. Yeah, I was telling my wife that. I was like, babe, I'm 5 for 5. You know, guessed all of them, got them all right. You know, and then last night's game. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Congratulations, buddy. Congrats.
Whoa, what you saying, bro? What you saying, Cam?
Hey, bro, this is a 6-0 conversation. All right.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
I believe we're called.
That's all it is. We're gonna move on to the Bills and Dolphins highlights. This game was a lot closer than I expected. I think a lot closer than everybody expected. The Bills, they tend to hit off all cylinders firing off, but Josh Allen threw 2 picks. He fumbled the ball 3 times and lost one of them. And these guys survived Miami.
Yeah.
So definitely a win is a win, but they survived in Miami. So with that being said, are you worried about Josh Allen's turnovers, Ty?
I'm worried about the Buffalo Bills as a whole. I mean, you went to play a team who known for some time that we were not going to have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. We're not going to have one, and that's just what it is. So it's going to be extremely difficult to put up points, especially against this supposedly great Bills team. Like, I'm concerned. Next week, I got concerns. It's gonna be rough.
I disagree.
You do.
Josh Allen had a bad game. All right, people have bad games, but it sucks. It's the playoffs, right? But the Bills' defense really showed what they're supposed to be. I mean, Bills' defense. I mean, they played great for having 2 interceptions and a fumble loss by Josh Allen. You know, I mean, you have to throw that into consideration. I know that they gave up a lot of points, but there was 3 turnovers. You know, and that's not their fault. So they were on the field a lot, but if they're not on the field that much, then obviously the score is not going to be as high. But that's why I'm not worried about him, dude. Josh Allen just had a bad game. He's going to be fine. I think he'll be fine. But got a hard game.
I don't know. This ain't his first bad game this year.
And for that, I think I'm going to have to side with you because
Ain't the first
This,
time.
this is the playoffs, and we honestly we have the 8 best teams left, and it feels like these are the 8 best teams that's left. In it feel like wild card, we got rid of the teams that weren't supposed to be here. Miami weren't supposed to be here. They were on their 19th. They were on their 19th string quarterback. Uh, the defense the defense couldn't stop a pot car, and Mike McDaniels, he got to understand that he had Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert in San Fran. So why are you throwing the ball 45 times with a rookie quarterback? That's for another day, and I'll talk about Mike McDaniels another day. But I'm definitely worried because now your margin for error becomes slim. Mm-hmm. It might become none when you're playing a team like the Bengals. The Bengals are a team of opportunists. I think even if this game gets out of hand, because at the end of the day, Buffalo was up 17-0 in this game. And in a blink of an eye, it was 17-17 before Josh Allen had to make a drive and get him 3 points in the half. So you can't give Joe Burrow the ball 3 times and think that it's gonna be peaches and cream and mashed potatoes and gravy. Nah, man, it's gonna be more like a sloppy Joe or shepherd's pie. So it's gonna be tough to digest. That's what I'm trying to say. 3 turnovers are not gonna work. So I'm definitely worried. He got to get it under himself, and he can't turn over the ball in the red zone. Definitely not in the red zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to come back against Joe Burrow. I mean, it's good. You ain't coming back, and you best not let him come back.
Man, I think Buffalo's defense. I think they'll be able to handle Joe Burrow, man. I'm just saying.
And we should definitely appreciate the AFC side more because of what they'll have to do to get to this minus Skylar Thompson, but Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl, he'll have to go through Joey Burrow and Pat Mahomes. So whoever on the NFC side, watch out. So that's all I'm saying. The NFC side, I'm not saying it's weak, but I'm just saying it's weak. We're going to get on and go to the Bulls and Ravens. Now this game was tricky because I would think that Cincinnati, since they saw Buffalo stumble against their division rival, and you see here starts off with a pick. You would think that Cincinnati will come out and really make a statement for Buffalo. Like, all right, man, we understand we got to go to Orchard Park due to some things out of our control, and I know that game was canceled, and that was probably the best decision. But let's call a spade a spade. Cincinnati was going to win that game.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati won their last 9-10 games. So even though this was a very pedestrian game, not rather pedestrian, very pedestrian. Only 209 yards from Joe Burrow on plus 30 attempts and no turnovers, but and that 1 touchdown. So it was efficient. It just wasn't flashy for Joe Burrow. And the Baltimore Ravens really put up a fight. They put up a hell of a fight. Tyler Huntley did exactly what he was supposed to do for a backup quarterback. But there's a lot of guys who think that Lamar being in that game probably would have changed the outcome. These guys lost off a 4th down play at the goal line that'll come up later as we're discussing it. But how different would the game be, Cam, with Lamar Jackson as a starting quarterback?
I mean, Lamar is Lamar, man. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, that's a big game changer. But I also think, man, Cincinnati's defense. I mean, there's kind of that mindset of Lamar's playing versus Lamar's not playing. So I think those guys kind of got a sigh of relief. Lamar's not playing, right? So that kind of changes their mentality too. But I also think, he would have changed the game for him. Cincinnati, I don't know. I kind of think no matter how hard they would have came in this game, I think Lamar I think he would have changed it a lot, man. I mean, the outcome of this game might have been different. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think Lamar playing in this game would have really meant something. But I mean, one thing's for sure, it would have been a lot more exciting. That's for sure.
I mean, you gotta almost double rushing yards and passing yards when Lamar's on the field. So the way the game went, if Lamar was there, I got Baltimore winning. To be honest, because the game was too close.
I don't think Sam Hubbard's doing that if Lamar's in the game.
Absolutely not. But it was
great play, by the way. I mean, that was the only play of the game.
Yeah.
No. It was the play of the game. As you can see here, Tyler Huntley tries to go up and over, but he went vertically. He should have went more try to extend the ball. He never extended the ball, and that's why Logan Wilson was able to give me that, snatch it out of his hand. That was a heads-up play by Logan Wilson.
Man.
That should have literally just been the only play. That's it. It was such a boring game, dude. It was hard to watch that game, honestly.
It was boring, and that's the crazy thing, because we look at football, we want all these splash plays. The Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins game was a lot more exciting in this game, and that game had 6 turnovers. This game only had 1. So, 2. But we've gone accustomed to this unorthodox style of playing that we want to see. We want to see scoring, we want to see big plays, not necessarily because it's 24-17. It wasn't a defensive battle. It was just the way that they scored. It was efficient and boring.
Yeah,
I think that I agree with what both you guys are saying, but there's nothing that shows me a recent recent film study that Lamar Jackson being in this game would have amounted to anything other than a Baltimore loss. It's I love Baltimore's defense. Roquan Smith is a monster. I really like the rookie Kyle Hamilton, and I like what Lamar brings to the table. But Lamar can't throw the ball to himself, and he was missing his wide receivers. If you watch that game, Baltimore's wide receiver was dropping the ball for Tyler Huntley. So, and this one's on the coaching staff as well. You cannot coach this game as if Tyler Huntley's Lamar Jackson. I understand they have the same skill sets, but he shouldn't even have the ball in his hands at that point. So I agree with what you're saying, but to a certain point, I don't know. It definitely would have been a change, but I don't know that these guys win the game with Lamar.
Possibly.
We're going to go on to the Vikings and Giants, which the Giants recorded the only quote-unquote upset. Every other team that was favored to win the game won the game, and Giants and Cowboys were the only 2 teams to win on the road. Kirk Cousins played a decent game, 31-39, 279 yards, and a touchdown, and along with that touchdown run. But Daniel Jones really put his stamp on the playoffs. He had 78 rushing yards, 300 passing yards, and a couple tutties. And Saquon Barkley was Saquon Barkley. He was that too. And there was a bunch of random pass catchers. There's no disrespect to those guys. They out there earning their check. But who the hell is Isaiah Hodgins?
Random as hell. But he will ball. That's all that matters.
He definitely was balling. Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Richie James, these guys were balling. How surprising is this win for you as a Cowboys fan? How surprising is this Giants win? Or unsurprising?
It's not surprising, man. This is the same 6-0 team at the beginning of the year that we all were like, wait a minute. Is it a fluke? And then they continued to win games, and we were like, maybe not. It might not be a fluke. These boys might just actually be out here balling. Danny Dimes might be back again, and he is. He's doing Danny Dimes type things. But I think it's mainly on the Minnesota side. I mean, for majority of the season, we didn't think they deserved to have the record that they have, but they have the record that they have because they did win the games. But did they really win the games? Or did a lot of these teams just kind of lose? And then at the same time for this game, it's like you guys never put yourself in position to take the game over. So it's like, where are y'all going, Minnesota? And what are y'all going to do? Because y'all have had this same team, this same dynamic for the longest. And at this point, it's are we gonna shake anything up? What we gonna do? Because you got to do something. Otherwise, you're gonna keep being this team getting kicked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree, man. Minnesota, dude. Called it last week. I kind of figured the Giants were going to win this game. Minnesota this whole year, man, they've just been, I don't know, they're just like the sketchy team, man. They win, but it's kind of like, I don't know if they really won that. I mean, all right, cool. I mean, and they're barely winning. So, I mean, I really think that they played an actual good team that their record does not match how good that they are. They played phenomenal. Saquon Barkley, phenomenal. I mean, it was just a fun. But yeah, I think upset in my opinion. But I mean, I don't know, man. I like to see the Giants win on this one.
Yeah, there was nothing surprising about this win. It went. This one was, indicative of how the Giants have played this entire season, and what a difference a year makes, and what a difference a coach makes. Brian Dable called that game as if, and I'm not comparing the two. I'm not comparing the two. But Brian Dable and his staff called this game as if Daniel Jones was Josh Allen with all those quarterback runs and the passes that they were asking him to make. And Daniel Jones stepped up to the plate. The Vikings, on the other hand, they are the most untrustworthy 13-1 team I've ever seen. So I didn't at all.
Yeah.
What it is what happened was 2 9-7 teams played each other, and the better 9-7 team won.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Okay, I definitely don't disagree with you there. But we'll see what happens. And for the final game of Super Wild Card Weekend, those other 5 were kind of entertaining, plus or minus on that Bengals game. This one, from the jump, it seemed like Dallas had a mission. Well, not from the jump. The first couple drives were 3 and outs. Dak looked like he was hurrying a couple things. Nerves got the best of him. But then a switch had to flip. These guys score. Tom Brady throws a pick in the end zone, and all hell breaks loose. Dallas wins 31-14 off of Dak's 5 touchdowns. And from start to finish, this was a win. a domination. So with that being said, what's next for Brady as a football player?
I don't know, man. I thought he was done last year, so I don't know. I ain't gonna answer that.
I think I don't know, bro. I don't think anybody knows. I read an article today that him staying with the Bucks is the only team that makes sense for him, but I mean, I don't know, man. After a year like that, and after this game, I mean, dude, Dallas dominated them like the whole game. Bro, they didn't let their foot off the gas, man. I mean, they just dominated the entire game.
Let's go with that.
So I don't know, man. I mean, you could say Tom Brady wants to come back, revenge season next year. You know, maybe with the Bucks. But I don't know, honestly.
Tom, please hang it up so we can watch you analyze.
Everybody.
That's what I want. I just want to see you analyze the plays. You the best football mind all time. Yeah. I want to see it.
That's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah.
But to tell you what happened to Dak after the beginning of the game, he came to the back and I told him, I said I had a little in the glass for him if he needed it. He took a little sip, then he went out there and whooped that ass. That's what he did. Yes, so give him that South Carolina water.
I think Tom Brady. I read some things, staying in Tampa, maybe going to Vegas. The thing is, Tom Brady, for most of the season, Tom Brady for most of the season has looked pedestrian. He's looked like a 45-year-old quarterback. And in order for Tom Brady to win at a high rate, and at the rate that we're used to seeing Tom Brady at, you would need the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver trio, Derrick Henry, and the San Francisco 49ers defense. In other words, everything had to go right for Tom to excel, because he can't move the way he wants. And that's not a slight at Tom Brady. You're just 45, man. You're gonna be 46 before the season even starts. Before you even get into camp, start of preseason games.
Yeah.
So I just think it's time to just go off in the sunset. The game is violent. Last year probably would have been the year to go out. I know he didn't win last year, but it looked a lot better than this ass whooping he just received.
Right, dude. I mean, at some point, man, you just gotta you gotta call it quits. I mean, he's got so many rings, dude. I mean, bro, nobody's gonna touch you. You're already the GOAT, bro. Just call it quits, man. Like, chill out. Take a coaching job or an analyst job or whatever. Just go ahead. But who knows, man? Tom Brady he'll retire and then unretire in, like 39 days or something.
Right. Just does what he wants to do. It's Tom Brady. I'm going to go home for a couple days and come back.
He's definitely going to do what he want to do, and it's going to be intriguing to see over the next few weeks. I don't think it's going to be that long of a decision. We'll probably have something not too long after the Super Bowl. We're gonna wrap up Super Wild Card Weekend with displaying who our Super Wild Card Weekend MVP was. Let's get into it with Cam. Who was your guy?
Danny Dimes, man. Danny Dimes. Guy played great. Over 300 yards passing. He ran a lot. 17 attempts. That's a lot. But I mean, it worked out for him. He had, close to 80 yards. And with a performance like that, and your team got the win, I mean, I think that's a very big win, dude. I mean, that was averaging right at 9 yards every time he threw the ball. So you're 1 yard shy of a first down every single time you throw the ball. So that's kind of MVP numbers to me. So that's who I picked.
Ty.
I'll take it. I'll take your pick, and I'll raise you a Dak Prescott. Amen. I mean, this guy, man.
Nah, dude.
I talk about him all the time to people, and they're just like, "But what about Dak Prescott?" I'm like, "Yo, this is the same quarterback who was throwing 500 yards consecutively. Yes, he's having bad games, and things are getting in the way, injuries and people being out, personnel missing, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, to go from 128 yards to 305, within a week, bro, like your mental had to be jacked up. Like you had to been like, yo, what is going on with me? Like I'm having a really bad couple games. I need to something got to shake. And then he just came out there 4 touchdowns, no picks, spanking the Bucks ass. This just, man, he's got to be the MVP, bro. Yeah, got to be. 75% completion? Come on, man. How you get better than that, man?
I'll tell you, and he's on the screen right now. The guy that was the 262nd pick in the draft. 31 other teams passed on this man. Well, the Niners passed 7 rounds. Brock Purdy went 19 for 28, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the pass rating 131.5. There's a short list of people who've done that to open up their playoff career, and Dimes is on that. Danny Dimes is on that list now. Brock Purdy has answered the call every time he's needed to answer the call. And then what Saturday shows you is that he is ready to do something that nobody's done in the history of the league. I'm talking about rookie quarterback starting in the Super Bowl. It hasn't been one.
Yeah, I give you that. They might get there. They might. They still got to go through us.
I'm glad you said that, because now we're going to head on to the picks. We're going to go into the wild card. We're in the Elite 8, the best weekend of football, divisional round football. Remember last year's divisional round when we seen Brady and the Bucks come back from 27-3, tie the game, only to have Cooper Kupp do Cooper Kupp type things, and then 13 seconds is all it took for Patrick Mahomes to snatch the hearts of all Bills fans everywhere. So now we got what I think is the 8 best teams going against each other. Let's break it down. Let's start with Cam. Give me your predictions.
All right, yeah, man. So for the Chiefs and the Jags game, like I said last week, Trevor Lawrence found a way to win. But I don't think that he's going to get it done. Not against the Chiefs, dude. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. Eagles and Giants, or I'm sorry, Bills and Bengals. I'm going to take the Bills on that. I think that they had a lot of defenses. This past game, their defense was on the field a lot, man, and they found a way to win. So I think that I don't think Josh Allen plays as bad as he did, with all the turnovers and stuff. So I think they get it done against the Bengals. The Giants and the Eagles, I'm gonna take the Eagles on that. I think Jalen Hurts. I got a notification today. He said, "I'm not worried about getting hit." Blah blah blah. So I think he's going to come in and do his thing, do Jalen Hurts things like he's been doing all season. I think they're going to have a good game, so I'm going to take the Eagles on that. And then 49ers and the Cowboys. Those are two great teams. I'm going to take the 49ers, though, on that. Brock Purdy is playing his ass off. I don't know. We'll see about him against the Dallas defense, though. But I think he might be able to get it done.
Mm, 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 mm. I don't think so, brother. I don't think so, brother. Oh man, you going next, or you want me to go, bro?
Go ahead.
All right. Of course, I'm going with Kansas City, man. I mean, it's just hard to beat Patrick. Patrick be down 30 and still win. Like we ain't gonna talk about that. Bengals and the Bills, man. I got to go with the Bengals, man. They like we said, from the looks of the last game, they were gonna win. You know, the tragedy that happened, like if it never happened, I think they would won. Giants and the Eagles. Man, I gotta go with my gut, man. I gotta go with the Giants, man. They got momentum, man. They got momentum. Eagles been sitting at home for a little while, getting fat. You know what I mean? Let them chill. I think the Giants gonna step on that bird. You feel me? Um, and of course, gotta go with Dallas, baby. Gotta go with Dallas, baby. I'm gonna meet Dak back in the back one more again. Give him a little shot of that hand, and he gonna be good. My boy gonna be throwing touchdown passes like you ain't never seen it before. Y'all gonna all sit up here and tell me, you know what, real? We gonna get Dak a chance finally. Next year we might talk about MVP again, but we gonna slow up for a while.
Um, I again, I don't know who was talking about him in the first place, the MVP settings, but if y'all didn't pay attention to those graphics before, that was last week's predictions. This man had Seattle, Minnesota.
Hold up now.
I seen the Chargers over there, but
Hold, hold up now.
that was from last week. You know,
We ain't even finna do this.
Hey,
So,
Ty, nah, bro. Nah, right after the Chargers game, bro, you're the first person I thought of.
because my teams let me down. They didn't lose. They let me down. Okay.
Oh, they
Chargers
did. Big time.
definitely did. For
They
the for the Chiefs and the Jaguars, I think even with Trevor Lawrence never losing on Saturday and everything that the Jaguars bring to the table, they're a fun team to watch. They're definitely a fun team to watch. They remind me of a young Denver Nuggets team. You don't never know what to expect, but they play at their own pace, and that's what Trevor Lawrence does. He plays at his own pace because he threw 4 picks, and he still threw 4 touchdowns in the next half to win the game.
can't do that
But
first catch,
with
baby.
that being said, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and he will always be Patrick Mahomes. Give me the Chiefs by a touchdown. I'll take the the Bengals as well over the Bills, simply because the Bengals are a team that's prime, a team that can do it. I think the Bengals can be on that trajectory as long as they keep their players and they find a way to finesse the contracts. I think they could be on like a Patriots, the '03 type of '06 run if they can win that big one. And this is their next step. I got the Bengals over the Bills in tight one, maybe even overtime. Give me
Trash.
the Giants. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles over the Giants, and the Cinderella story ends here. It's been a great season for Dable and the Giants. They're ahead of the time. They peaked a little beforehand, and Jalen Hurts, he's ready to take hits. Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. That's all I gotta say. He squats 600 pounds. He's not worried about these guys. He's not worried. And Kayvon Thibodeau, he's a big dude, but he's not worried about these guys. And for Dallas and San Fran, man, so these guys have played each other 9 times in the playoffs. That's the most out of any two teams. Dallas has the 5-3 advantage, with San Fran winning the last 2, including last year when Dak didn't know how the hell to snap a play in 14 seconds.
Jesus Christ!
I think this is a revenge tour type of game because Brock Purdy is that dude. He's that dude, but it is something got to give. You're still a rookie, and this is Dak's 7th season. He should be looked at as the best quarterback remaining in the NFC. So it's going to take a lot, but I think if they can run the ball and not just giving the ball to Zeke, I think giving the ball to Tony Pollard, mixing it up, and keeping the ball away from McCaffrey and Ayuk and Debo, George Kittle, out of Brock Purdy's hands, I think the Cowboys win. With a Brett Meyer field goal. Oh no.
Goddamn field goal.
Dude, what an awful game for him, bro. 4 missed field goals. Or extra points, I'm sorry. Not even field goals.
I was at work livid, boy. The customers was looking at me. The staff was looking at me. My staff came, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "This motherfucker done missed another kick." And another one. And another one.
I'd be mad at work too if I was just a Dallas fan in general, dude.
We won the game. He usually makes kicks, so we're gonna give him a huge break because that's 4 kicks that we got to give you a break. Well, we're gonna give it to you.
So that's 6-0 for me from last week. 6-0 for Cam last week, and 2-4. Numbers.
That's just current. This is right now.
Yeah, not me. Yeah.
We all have a consensus at Kansas City beating Jacksonville, but from there on out, there's some divvy up there, and when we have a little time, I think the team that I picked that has the biggest chance, and would be the Cowboys because of that 49ers defense, but I feel very confident on 4 of my picks. I don't know why that man picked the Giants, but it's okay.
Hey, look, man. When the Giants win, don't say, "I don't know why he picked the Giants." "Oh, I don't know why he picked the Giants." "Oh, real, he picking the underdog." When they
that's fine. The Giants win. If the Giants win, I'll come up here that week and tell you that I'm wrong. But I won't be wrong because they're not going to win.
Bro, if they do win, you know what I'm going to say to you? I'm going to say, congrats on your 3rd win.
You know what? The hell with both of y'all. How about that?
All right, and we're gonna wrap up with a little dad joke. You guys ready?
Dad jokes, Lord.
All right. So, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
64.
No. Wow. 10 tickles. 10 tickles. Come on. That's all we got for y'all.
That is so stupid.